Then the basic terms related to solid waste, which includes different terms related to solid waste: ash, bulky waste, co-disposal, biodegradable material, composting, disposal, environmental impact assessment, environmental risk assessment, garbage, landfilling, leachate, MSWM, municipal solid waste and municipal solid waste management, traceable, refuse derived fuel, that is IDF, rubbish, waste to energy plant, WT plant. They are the basic terms related to solid waste management. The kinds of waste or types of waste, which include solid waste, liquid waste, classification based on the properties of the waste, which includes biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste, classification of waste according to their effect on human health and environment. They are classified as hazardous waste and non-hazardous waste. From where this waste comes from: municipal solid waste. Sources of this waste is from household, residential buildings, commercial buildings, horticulture, institutional buildings, construction and road sweeping. These are the sources of solid waste from which the solid waste is accumulated, which is collected from these sources. Then solid waste in India, scenario of the solid waste management in India that you have seen, growth of solid waste in India, how it is grown from the last several decades, and the table which shows the municipal solid waste for various cities in India and their per capita waste in kg per day is shown in this table. See this municipal solid waste is the highest amount. Okay. Ahmedabad 1683 TPD per capita waste is 0.55. त्यामध्ये कशाचे जास्त आहे? मुंबई, बॉम्बे 5355 आहे. या अमाउंट जास्त इथे परत खाली दिल्लीचं 4000 आहे. Then Kanpur 1200. Then Hyderabad 1566. Madras 3124. कशाचा जास्त आहे? बॉम्बे 5355. And for this, the per capita waste is 0.436. कशाचं कमी आहे? Minimum Madurai 370, 347, Coimbatore 350, Visakhapatnam 300. Maximum is for Bombay. The amount of this municipal solid waste is higher because population is more. The metro city. $5,355. Okay. Major deficiencies: littering of garbage due to unorganized primary collection, the deficiency in the solid waste management for the collection of the garbage, provision and operation of interim storage facilities unsatisfactory, the storage facilities of the solid waste that are unsatisfactory, there may be irregular garbage lifting, the garbage or waste that is dumped, there is a irregularity in the garbage lifting will be there, due to which what happens, there will be more accumulation of the solid waste. Transportation system not synchronized with storage facilities. If there is a not proper transportation system is available, by this it affects the to the solid waste management. For the managing the solid waste, these are the major deficiencies. Processing or treatment of municipal solid waste not practiced. The waste which is collected by municipalities, the processing methods which are not adopted, or treatment methods they are not practiced. This is the deficiency. And final disposal through dumping. Final disposal through dumping, not sale. So this is one of the deficiency. So there is no practice or processing methods that are used for treatment of the solid waste. These are the deficiencies. If the solid waste which are not properly collected, or any method of collection, if it is not used, if there is a non-availability of the funds or any equipment, vehicles, in that case it affects to the management of this solid waste. The effects of the waste, if they are not managed wisely, what are its effects? If this solid waste is not managed properly, then what are its effects? First effect, they affect our health of the society, that will be affected, and it will also affect the environment, water pollution, that there may be spreading of the diseases like malaria, typhoid, or dengue. This type of diseases, it may spread in a society if these wastes are not managed properly, and it will affect our socio-economic condition, affect to the society, and it will affect to the our economical condition. Affects our coastal and marine environment. If huge waste which is dumped near the seashore or near to the river shore, then it will contaminate the river water or sea water. Therefore, the animals or the or it will affect to the sea water. It also affects our climate. There is the bad effect on the climate. These are the various effects of this waste if they are not managed properly. See these images, how these wastes are dumped near to this dustbins. See this waste. After dumping of the waste, that is burned. Waste is burned. See this waste. Adjoint this road, the waste is dumped. Here there is a huge accumulation of the waste, which consists plastic bags, bottles, papers, etc. So proper management of this solid waste should be effectively done, so that there should not be any effect on a human health and on a environment. This image, the person carrying the waste from this waste which is dumped, animals that are eating this waste which is dumped on the at the dumping location. So this is a scenario of the solid waste management in our India, in all the states, in various cities. The composition of the solid waste. The composition क्या है? General composition of solid waste being generated from cities of India, which is generated from various cities, which is about 40%. 40% food waste, food and garden waste. Composition with the percentage क्या है? कैसे divide केले? This solid waste, how it is divided? 40% is food and garden waste. Food and garden waste, which is more. 5% is glass materials, glass and ceramics. 3% is metal, which contains iron or other aluminium, iron, etc. 15% inert, 4% plastic or rubber or different kinds. 6% textile, which includes clothes, clothes of different kinds. 27% paper. This is the distribution of the solid waste in percentage. कसे जास्त है? Food and garden waste से जास्त है, 40% है. खाली paper, the waste of newspapers or any papers of the notebooks, general that we use daily. 27% paper. Then there are 15% inert. Then 5% glass, ceramics, glass and ceramics. 3% metal. 6% textile. clothes. This is a composition of the solid waste. समजलं इथपर्यंत काय प्रॉब्लेम आहे यामध्ये? Total organic fraction is 40%. Organic fraction किती आहे? Organic waste 40%. Combustible fraction, which is combustible, which is that can be combustible, that can be burned, is 37%. Recyclable किती आहे त्या वेस्ट मध्ये? 8%. That is reused for various purposes. Or by using that we can generate the electricity. Inert is 15%. This is the composition of the solid waste. See this in this diagram, it is given from the source CPHEEO manual on municipal solid waste 2005. See this percentage. Food and garden waste is 40%. This is more. This percent is more. Then second, paper 27%. Red color shows the food and garden waste 40%. Green color shows the paper waste having 27%. Purple color textile or clothes 6%. This color indicates plastic rubber 4%. Yellow color indicates inert materials. This color indicates metal 3%. Glass and ceramics 5%. This is a distribution of the waste. The total waste, solid waste. Inert, which includes other than this, other than the metal, plastic, rubber, other types of inert that are not useful, useless. त्यामुळे हे सोडून बाकीचे जे काही ब्रोकन ग्लास असेल किंवा ग्लास तरी ते सोडून इनर्ट आहे. त्यामध्ये इट मे बी लिक्विड वेस्ट, केमिकल्स असतील, ऑइल, some biodegradable waste or non-biodegradable waste, some toxic substances will be there, toxic or corrosive substances. This is the composition. Characteristics of the solid waste. What is characteristics? It has three characteristics, three types of characteristics: physical, chemical, and biological. First characteristic is physical characteristics. Characteristics includes the percent contents of various ingredients of solid waste. So that includes these physical characteristics. Percent contents of various ingredients. Percentage of the ingredients that is containing in the solid waste, that is determined. त्यामध्ये physical characteristics मध्ये काय density किती आहे? Bulk density is generally calculated. Density of the solid waste. म्हणजे यामध्ये इथे दिलं आहे density of the food and garden waste, density of the paper, glass and ceramics, plastic, textile, metal. त्याची density किती आहे ते काढले जाते. Bulk density that is determined. Shading means separation of the waste from the solid waste, which is they are classified as useful. That they may be reused. That material is separated. Separation of the waste. separate करेगा study. They are divided into combustible or reusable materials. Function of location, season, storage time, equipment use, processing. These are the various terms related to. It depends. This physical characteristic will depend upon the its location of dumping, season, storage time, where it is stored. Equipment use, processing, don't talk, used in volume calculations. So these are from the volume, the total amount that is collected, accumulated. From that we can have to determine the bulk density of the calculate in this physical characteristics. We have to determine ingredients containing in the solid waste. Characteristics. Second type, chemical characteristics. This is used to for combustion and waste to energy plants. WT calculation, but can also be used to estimate biological and chemical behavior. The solid waste that is used for combustion, for burning of the solid waste, and for generation of the energy. From the waste, the energy is generated. So to calculate that waste to energy calculation, the chemical characteristics have to be determined. This is a biological behavior कैसा है, chemical behavior. What are the chemical characteristics that is needed? So this waste consists of combustible and non-combustible material. The combustible material कुठला आहे? That can be burned. That is paper, clothes, etc. These are combustible material. And non-combustible material, that is glass, metals, etc. That are non-combustible. So within this waste, the approximate analysis is done. Loss of moisture at a temperature held at 105 degrees Celsius. Loss of moisture किती आहे त्यामध्ये? That is determined. Volatile combustible matter VCM. Volatile combustible matter VCM. Or the temperature increased to 950 degrees Celsius. Close crucible. त्यामुळे फिश कार्बन कंटेंट किती आहे? रेसिड्यू फ्रॉम VCM ते काढलं जातं. कार्बन कंटेंट ash at temperature 950 degrees Celsius, open crucible. This analysis is then done from this solid waste. त्यामुळे moisture किती आहे? Volatile combustible matter किती आहे? ते काढलं जातं. Fixed carbon, ash. This analysis is done. त्यानंतर Fusing point of ash. Fusing point of ash is given clinker. Agglomeration of carbon and metals. Clinker means what? The collection of carbon and metals. Clinker formation temperature, which forms at a temperature of 2000 to 2200 Fahrenheit. The fusing point of ash. Ultimate analysis is done. Molecular composition is determined. CH, NOP, etc. For the type of waste, the energy content is determined through lab calculation using calorimeter. The energy content किती आहे ते काढलं जातं. In the laboratories, the energy content is determined using calorimeter. Calorimeter ने त्या वेस्ट एनर्जी किती आहे ते डिटरमाइन केलं जातं. Agglomeration means collection or the mixture of carbon and metals, combination of the carbon and metals. These are the chemical characteristics. In this way, you have to do the proximate analysis, ultimate analysis. You have to find out energy content and fusing point of ash. These are the chemical characteristics. Analysis is done. Analysis of the waste. Then biological characteristics. Biodegradability. The organic fraction of often equated with volatile solids content of waste. So this organic fraction, which is often equated with the volatile solids, VS content of the waste. So all, not all organic materials that are easily degradable. Due to biological action, the material that is degradable, that are called biodegradable material. त्यामध्ये काय काढलं जातं? Biodegradable fraction that is determined. Due to this degradation, what happens? It produces the odor. Biological, ज्यावेळेस एखादं ऑर्गॅनिक मॅटर असेल, एखादा पदार्थ असेल, फूड वेस्ट असेल, कालांतराने ते नासून जात. त्यामुळे काय, that bad odor that comes that produces from that waste. Degradation, after degradation, decomposition, decaying of the waste, the odor that is produces, which includes hydrogen sulfide, H2S from the rotten eggs, methyl mercaptans, amino butyric acid, methane, which is odorless. Methane is odorless, but these gases which produce the bad odor. Then which attracts the flies, vermin, rodents, vectors. Due to this, after collection of the accumulation of the waste, so the insects or some rodents, vermin, flies that may spread over that waste, and it will consume that waste. By this, degradation occurs. So these are the characteristics of the solid waste. समजला? We include physical characteristics, chemical characteristics, and biological characteristics. तिथे आपण स्टेजेस पाहिले येते. Stages of the solid waste management series. Which includes waste generation, how it is generated, storage, where it is stored, collection, transfer and transport, processing and recovery, and finally it is dispose of. In solid waste collection, how it is done, collection, generation, storage, collection, how it is collected, and how it is transported, transportation of the solid waste. So which are the factors considered for the collection of the solid waste and for the transport of the solid waste? Types of containers. The containers which are used for the collection of the solid waste. So that depends upon the characteristics of the solid waste collected. So the characteristics काय आहे? जे आता आपण पाहिलंय, physical characteristics, chemical characteristics and biological characteristics. Depending upon that, solid waste is collected. म्हणजे त्यामध्ये डिव्हिजन आपण करतो ड्राय वेस्ट and wet waste, सुका कचरा आणि ओला कचरा. Depending upon the type of waste. And different containers are used for the collection. For example, large storage containers that are used for collection of the domestic solid waste from the residential buildings, flats, apartments, etc. Large storage containers are used. And the containers act curves, on the curve. The containers are which are placed in that this solid waste is dumped. Another one is large containers on a roller, commercial and industrial. Rolling vehicles and rolling equipments. Large containers on roller. With the help of rollers, the solid waste is collected from commercial and industrial areas. From the domestic areas, flats, apartment, large storage containers are used. And it depends upon the collection frequency. Whether it may be collected daily or day after day, or with once in a week, or after 2 to 3 days in a week. That collection frequency that is determined, and method of or quantity of accumulation of the solid waste. Based on that, the containers that are used, the space available for the placement of containers, how much, where it is located, its position, placement of the containers, the area and its location is decided. These are the various factors which are considered for using the type of container. Then residential refuse bags having 7 to 10 liters capacity. That refuse bags are also used for the collection of the waste. Rubbish bins having capacity 20 to 30 liters. या आपल्या जिथे जास्त वेस्ट कलेक्ट होतं त्या ठिकाणी हे रबिश बिन्स वापरतात. रेसिडेन्शियल जे आपण घरात डस्टबिन वापरतो, which is having collection capacity 7 to 10 liters. Or refuse bag, plastic carry bags मिळतात. त्यामुळे सुद्धा आपण रिफ्यूज कलेक्ट करतो. रिफ्यूज अँड रबिश दोन्ही वेगवेगळे आहेत. Rubbish bins, refuse bags, large mechanical containers, more commonly used to cut cost, reduce labor, time and collection cost. Large mechanical containers are used to reduce the cost and must be standardized to suit the collection equipment. Then there are container location where it should be dumped side or rear of the house, near to the house or within the apartment, within the houses, alleys, special enclosures in the apartments, special enclosures, basement apartments in foreign countries, basement, newer complexes. These are the locations where these containers are placed. Public health, the public health should be maintained. So it should be collected on time. Collection of the solid waste that should be done at a within a given time, at a specified time that should be collected, so that we should avoid any spreading of diseases by vectors or by insects. Aesthetics must be pleasing to the eye. Containers must be clean, shielded from public's view. म्हणजे containers तुम्ही use करता, it should be clean and it should be emptied. It should be clean properly at specified time. The collection of the solid waste, how it is collected. These are the containers and its characteristics. Types of containers you have seen. Collection of the solid waste. So 60 to 80% of the total solid waste management cost. So 60 to 80%, which is a cost that incurred, that comes from the collection of the solid waste. From the total solid waste management cost, 60 to 80% is of the collection cost. So in some countries like Malaysia, in some developing nations, there may be labor and capital intensive is there. Shortage of the funds, shortage of the labors. There are some major problems are there during the collection of the solid waste. Poor building layouts. The layouts of the building is not proper for the collection of the waste. The road congestion is there. Time cost, leachate, transport cost. The road congestion is there to collect the solid waste from the various sources, from the residential building, commercial building and industrial building. त्यामुळे काय होतं, वेस्ट कलेक्ट केले जात नाही ड्यू टू रोड कंजेशन, which is poor layout of the building, apartments. They will not dump at proper location. Physical infrastructure, old containers that may be used, if they are there may be leakage if they are having cracks or if they are damaged, then there may be leakage to that containers or it may be wasted, and absence of systematic methods, especially at the apartment markets with large waste volume. If the systematic methods of collection is not used, proper collection methods are not used, then it will create various problems, and there may be it will affect to the proper management of this solid waste. So, which sources, which authorities that collects this solid waste in a particular city, town, or village, municipal district council, they have authority, they manage this solid waste. The municipalities or municipal peoples, they collect the solid waste. Municipal and district council at district level, at village level, there is a some firm that is employed, private firm under contract to municipal. Some private firms are also employed that take the contract for the collection of the solid waste. They make the agreement with the municipalities, municipal authorities, so that there will be the effective and proper management of the solid waste. Private firm contract with the private residents also. From the private residents, the contract is agreement is made, contract is made for the collection of the solid waste. This is the first stage of solid waste management: collection, generation, storage, and collection. Door-to-door collection. The collection of the solid waste is done door to door. म्हणजे प्रत्येक घरी जाऊन ते सॉलिड वेस्ट कलेक्ट केलं जातं. तर प्रत्येकाच्या घरी घंटागाडी येते, that collects the solid waste in, that is called as, that collection method is called as door to door collection method. किंवा community bins that are placed in the society, community bins. Is a process. After collection of the waste from door to door collection, they are dumped into the one common in the community bins. From that community bins, the waste is collected. Community bins collection carried out once in 24 hours. म्हणजे एका दिवसात एकदा waste collect केलं जातं. It requires manual and multiple handling of waste to dump into transportation vehicles. It requires manual and multiple handling of the waste to dump this waste into transportation vehicles. Then from these community bins, the waste is carried to transport through vehicles, transportation vehicles. Transportation, TS. जिथं ते वेस्ट कॅरी करायचं आहे तिथपर्यंत ते वेस्ट नेलं जातं. त्याला काय म्हणतात, ट्रान्सपोर्ट स्टेशन. और इट इज डिस्पोज ऑफ at the sites. तिथं डंप करायचं आहे, गावाच्या बाहेर म्हणा किंवा शहराच्या बाहेर ते काय केलं जातं, डिस्पोज केलं जातं. And finally dispose of at the sites. So these are the stages involved in the collection of the station, and finally disposed at the site. Section. Types of collection, this that include municipal collection services, commercial industrial collection services, commercial industrial collection services, in first types of collection, how it is collected. Municipal collection services, that includes residents from the residential areas. The waste is collected from the residential areas near the curb. The waste is collected at the curb side, which is a footpath and curb, or near to the house curb. At that place, near to the house, the waste is collected, or at the alley line, setback and set out, backyard collection. This waste is collected from the residential areas. Municipal collection services, near to the curb, alley, set out and setback, backyard collection. हे वेस्ट कलेक्शन चे हे वेगवेगळे लोकेशन्स आहेत इन रेसिडेन्शियल एरिया. त्यामुळे कर्ब साइड नियर टू दी हाउस, इसका पेज नहीं निकालने के लिए पता है सर को पूछना पड़ेगा. भी है शायद मैं तो मजा नहीं near to the curb. Now, in this, house owner is responsible for placing solid waste containers at the curb on a scheduled day. The house owner, the owner of the building, owner, who is responsible for placing of the solid waste. The owner who deposit or place this waste near to the curb in a solid waste container at the curb. In that container, they dispose the waste on a scheduled day. After 1 day or next day, after 2 days, that is the waste is dumped in the containers, which is placed at the curb. Then near the curb side, the house owner who is responsible for placing that container at a desired location, so that the waste is collected in the container at a scheduled day. Workman come and collect that container and empty into the container, or the workman will dump into the vehicle that carries the waste, and it again it put back at the curb. परत तो वर्कमन जो वेस्ट कॅरी करतो तो डस्टबिन तुम्ही प्लेस केलेला आहे घराच्या बाहेर, तो ते उचलून परत त्या ठिकाणी त्या प्लेसला तो ठेवतो. इज अ कर्ब कलेक्शन. Then house owner is required to take back the empty container from the curb to his house. This is called door-to-door collection. Then this method is very quickest and economical. So in that it includes one driver who carries who drives the vehicle that carries the waste, and there are 1 to 2 collectors are there to carry these containers, and they dump into the vehicle, and no need to enter property. So this method is very economical and quickest method of collection of solid waste. Then second is set out and set back. Collectors have to enter property. म्हणजे आपल्या जे collectors असतात, means the workman who take the waste, municipal people who they collect the waste, they enter the property. Set out crew carries full containers from the resident storage location to curb or alley before collection vehicle arrives. म्हणजे ते आपल्या that people, municipal people, they comes in every houses, they collect that beans and they place that containers near to the curb before arrival of the vehicle. Then collection crew load their refuse into vehicle. After that, that waste is dumped in the vehicle. The setback crew return the container to storage area. त्याला काय म्हणतात? सेट आउट अँड सेट बॅक. Set out and set back means crew return the container to the store. Set back, set the containers from the resident which is collected, that are carried. त्याला काय म्हणतात? Set out, and first set back means again it is returned to that position, to that location. त्याला काय म्हणतात? Set back. So this is a set out and set back. Third guy, alley service. The containers are placed at the alley line, from where they are picked up by workmen from refuse vehicles to deposit back the empty container. So alley line is the line collect जिथे आपण the containers place करतो त्याला काय म्हणायचं? Alley line. From where at that alley line the workmen collect that container and they deposit back the container into that waste carrying vehicle. त्याला काय म्हणायचं? alley line. Curb वेगळा आहे, alley line वेगळा आहे. Alley line is the line where these containers are placed. And fourth one is backyard service. त्यामुळे बॅकयार्ड सर्व्हिस मध्ये काय करतात? The workers with vehicles carry a bin. The workers, they carry a bin, wheels, barrow or sack. पिशवीत ते कॅरी करतात. क्लोथ ज्यामध्ये ते वेस्ट काय केलं जातं, कलेक्ट केलं जातं. The workers that collect the waste in the bins, in the wheelbarrows or sack or cloth to the yard and empty the solid waste container in it. And it's a backyard service. The bin is taken to solid waste vehicles where it is emptied. The solid container, if it is emptied into in the wheelbarrows or bins, and it is finally it is dumped into the solid waste vehicle. तर याला काय म्हणायचं, बॅकयार्ड सर्व्हिस. समजला? is a types of collection from the residential areas, like municipal collection services. Then the second type of collection is the commercial and industrial collection services. त्यामध्ये दोन types आहेत. Large movable and stationary containers, because quantity of the collection is large. For that, large movable and stationary containers are used, and large stationary compactors are used. Foam bales. These are the large movable and stationary containers. See this biomedical waste which is collected by this vehicle. These are the movable containers. See this waste carrying vehicles. This is blue box, yellow bag, blue bag. The different so collection frequency in these residential areas, there may be every day, once in 2 days. The waste is collected in residential areas, or every day the waste is collected from the solid waste vehicles, waste carrying vehicles, in the communal commercial areas, from commercial buildings. The frequency of collection is daily. Waste is collected day by day. Food waste. For food waste, maximum rate should not exceed the normal time of accumulation of the waste to fill a container, and the time of fresh garbage to putrefy and emit false odor. And third one is length of fly breeding cycle, less than 7 days. So within this spread, that the waste should be collected so that should not spread any diseases or any bad odor. This is a collection frequency. Okay. So next lecture we'll see treatment and disposal of the solid waste. Everyone give attendance.